You're living in some decent or some crazy nice area where $300,000, $400,000 houses with a payment of $2,200 to $3,000. You're living next to someone that maybe has a single family home, and you're paying $700 while they're paying $2,000, $3,000 a month. You're literally winning.
If you're thinking about buying a house, it's your first time buying a house, you don't know where to start. Let me tell you something. Don't buy a single family home. You're gonna regret it. Instead, do what I did. Watch this video. If not, you'll regret it.
This video is very important, guys. I want you to really pay attention to the strategy and understand what house hacking actually is, because it is a real game changer. It's super simple. It's not very complicated when it comes to real estate, and it will change your finances for the better. Trust me, we're doing it. It has been an amazing opportunity, and it has helped our finances tremendously. So pay attention.
All right, so me and my girlfriend at the time, we needed to move out. I was living at my mom's, and we were not gonna live together at my mom's. So what were my options? I could either buy a house or go rent in a house or an apartment or whatever. If I would have bought a house, that's $3,000 mortgage, you know, so that's $3,000.
That's facts, dude. I was looking at houses, and like, just based off the interest rate, property taxes, your mortgage, the monthly payment, even with 20% down, with the price of the houses, we were talking $2,200, $2,000, $3,000, $3,500 for a mortgage. It's insane how much housing is right now.
Coming out of my pocket. If I would have rented, maybe like $1,500, but I'm paying someone else's mortgage.
You're paying $3,000 some dollars in the area. You're probably renting for like $2,000, $1,500, yeah, for one bedroom. More than likely paying the same amount or just a little bit less than what you would be paying if you actually owned a home.
I don't want to do any of those. So here's what I did instead. All right, so this is my house, my property, and guess what? You got 1, 2, 3 apartments. All right, I bought an investment property, and believe it or not, I used an FHA loan, and I only had to put 3.5% down.
Yeah, so let me just break that down. So he bought a 3-family with an FHA loan. We bought a 2-family with an FHA loan. Now, the thing with the FHA loan, I don't know if he's going to get into it, put down a minimum of 3.5%. With that 3.5% comes mortgage insurance. Because you're putting down so little, bank looks at you as liability, and they want to have insurance just in case you don't pay or you're not able to pay. They can, you know, foreclose on your house or whatever it is. But to be honest, when it comes to a house hack, and if you actually have a good one, I would say that any house hack is a good one. As long as you're not paying what you would normally pay in that community, $500 or $1,000 or even $300 less than what you would have paid if you had rented or bought a regular single family home, then I say it's a good house hack. You know, you gotta see what it's gonna look like when you're renting out. You gotta make sure that when you move, you're renting out. That's where the real hack comes in.
Let me show you the property real quick. So here we have door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3.
And as you can tell, this is not an extravagant property. This is not some, you know, super nice property. It might not even be in the nicest neighborhood, but this guy is more than likely living for free. He might have a great job, or he might not have a great job, but he has a job and he's living for free. So instead of paying $1,500 to $3,000 a month towards a mortgage, he can pay $1,500 to himself. He could pay $3,000 to himself, to his retirement, and he could live in that thing forever if he wanted to, or he could live there for a little bit, then eventually move out, rent it out. House hacking is really one of the best ways to grow your finances, especially in an economy where it's hard to buy a single family home. It's hard to afford a house alone. So you basically buy a house and you put tenants in it, and then you live in one part of it and they live in the other, and they pay hopefully at least half of your mortgage, at least half of your payment, and you can kind of pocket the half that would have gone to that payment to your retirement or to wherever you want to put it.
So how much did this property cost? Believe it or not, probably cost the same as a single family home. It cost me $400,000, all right?
Yup. So who's out here buying $400,000 houses? Everybody. People I work with, people I've seen in the streets, they're going to buy $400,000 houses, $500,000 houses. At the end of the day, a single family home is a liability. Why? Because it takes money out of your pocket and it doesn't really bring you any wealth besides your net worth. Then the possibility to sell it down the road for a higher amount, just for you to upgrade to a bigger home that costs more. A house hack is an actual asset because it puts money in your pocket and allows you to put your money elsewhere. This is just like the first thing you should do before you go out here into the real world buying a house. And I try to tell people this, but no one wants to listen. No one wants to live in a house hack. No one wants to live below their means. No one wants to live in a less than ideal neighborhood just so they can have a better financial future. They want to have that white picket fence house. They want to have that house that you see on the billboard. They want to have that house that is brand new and remodeled and looking all nice. They don't want to have to kind of hustle, kind of start down low. You know, when we were young, our parents didn't automatically get this amazing looking house. You know, we started down here. We started with the apartment, then we kind of upgrade to something a little bit better, but it's not the best. And then towards the end, hopefully, you know, we're able to get into that nice house as a child, you know, for our parents. But a lot of times nowadays, people want to skip those steps. They want to go straight from living with their parents to something that their parents have right now. And there's levels to this, and a house hack is the best way to go.
You had to put 3.5% down, so it's about $15,000 down payment.
So let's pull up the calculator. We're talking about a $400,000 house is what he said, right? House times 0.2. This is what he would have paid if he would have put down 20%. So he would have paid about $80,000, and instead of paying $80,000, he only put down $15,000 plus closing costs. We're going to say $20,000. You could save that amount of money if you really grind, if you really work for it. Maybe you're staying with your parents like he was. Maybe you go and get a cheap rental, get a roommate or some situation like that where you can save $15,000 to $20,000 in a year or two, or maybe even 3 years, and then go and deploy that money into a house hack. Now, I pulled up Chicago. Chicago, I feel like, is a decent place, a good place to go get a house hack. Look at all these house hacks. Go in on Zillow right now and look at the house hacks in your area. See how much they're costing. A lot of these house hacks cost just as much as a single family home. So if you're able to afford a single family home, just make the sacrifice. Delayed gratification is the key to building your financial future as well. This is just a great way to do it. You have to be sure that you're buying in a good neighborhood. A lot of the house hacks, a lot of these duplexes can be in bad neighborhoods, but you just have to do your due diligence when you're looking at these homes. We're gonna put down 3.5, 3.5. So you have to pay $10,000 for this home. $2,585 is your payment. Say you could have afforded that if you were to go get a rental, or if you're gonna buy a regular home, you could afford maybe $2,000, $2,500. I would personally like to be able to pay the payment before I go and buy a house. But say you have $2,500, so $2,500, right? Minus, how much do you want to rent this place out for? Let's say $1,800. Let's say you rent out for $1,800. So that means you only have to bring $700 to the table. You could afford maybe $2,000, $2,500. So now you're bringing $700 and you're going to invest the difference. This is the important part here. You want to make sure that you invest the difference, that you're putting that into your savings account. You're doing something smart with it. We don't want to be wasting this money. We don't want to waste this opportunity in this house hack, because a lot of times the house hack is not the end move. It's only the beginning. Start with the house hack, and then we eventually move to a single family home, rent out the house hack fully, and it should cash flow. With that cash flow, we can put towards our mortgage on our primary home, and then we're paying less for our primary home monthly because we have the cash flow from the house hack. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole plan. It is maybe a 5 to 10 year plan for this house hack to actually benefit you with your next house. You guys should definitely look into house hacking, especially before you go out here and buy your first home, because like I said, you get an FHA loan, and that's for first time home buyers, and you just put down less money.
Mortgage on this property, $3,000 a month. But guess what? I live in one unit and I rent out the other two.
If you can find, a 4 or 3 family, even better. We're in a duplex. We're also in an area that doesn't cost a lot. The rent is very low here and the home is very low. So we're living for free, even though we have a duplex, and it's not even renting at, a crazy number.
Those other 2 units that I rent out pay for my mortgage.
Yep.
So guess what? I don't have a mortgage. So yeah, you heard that right. I don't have a mortgage. So because I don't have a mortgage, those $3,000 that I would be paying for my mortgage, instead I'm keeping it in my pocket. And what I'm doing, I'm using it and I'm putting money into the apartments. I'm redoing the apartments, redoing the kitchens, the bathrooms, the AC, everything. And guess what? That means the rent's gonna go up. The rent's gonna go up. That means more money in my pocket.
So you decide what you want to do with that extra money. He wants to put it into remodeling the homes, making more money from them, and maybe building a real estate empire. Me personally, I'm kind of over real estate. I like the house hack. I like managing, 1 or 2 people, and that's it. And I'd rather put that extra money to my investments, raising the percentages of my 401k because I'm not putting $2,000 or $3,000 to rent or to a mortgage. So it's up to you what you want to do.
Not only do the rents go up, but the property value also goes up too. So it's a win-win there too. So yeah, I don't have a mortgage right now, but guess what? That's because I live in one unit. When I buy another property, I'm gonna move to that other property and I'll rent out the unit that I live in. And guess what? Now I'll be making money. I'll be making about $1,500 a month.
That is the power of house hacking. If you're a first-time home buyer or you're looking to buy a home, take a pause, take a break, and look into multifamily properties. Look into what multifamily properties are in your area. Look at the cost, run the numbers, just like I just did. It's real quick. It's a real quick calculation. You're putting down 3.5%. See how much your mortgage is going to be. See how much your taxes, insurance is going to be. Subtract the amount that you could rent the apartment for, and that's the money that you can come out of pocket. And it's okay to come out of pocket for $700. You're living in some decent or some crazy nice area where $300,000, $400,000 houses with a payment of $2,200 to $3,000. You're living next to someone that maybe has a single family home, and you're paying $700 while they're paying $2,000, $3,000 a month. You're literally winning, because guess what? Maybe you could afford that, but instead you're putting the difference to investments, or you're putting the difference to more real estate or renovating the apartments, like you said. It's a great thing to do. House hacking is an amazing opportunity if you ever get the opportunity to do it. If you're ever able to save up that 3.5%, be sure to have your emergency fund intact as well. And also be prepared to pay closing costs, because closing costs is going to be a thing unless you kind of negotiate the seller to pay it. So if you have to put $10,000 down on a house and say that was your 3.5%, you might need to put aside $5,000 more dollars for closing costs. Then you need to have your emergency fund intact. That's $10,000 or maybe $15,000 more dollars. So you might have to have $30,000 altogether. That's way less than having to put down $60,000 or $80,000 on a primary home. That's not even an asset. It's a liability. Primary home is a liability because it takes money out your pocket, and you just put it into this house for however long, and you only really benefit from it from your net worth and when you sell it. And like I said, when you sell it, you're going to go upgrade, or you're going to maybe downgrade, but more than likely you're going to upgrade to a bigger home, a more expensive home, and you're never going to see that money in your pocket. A house hack puts money in your pocket, and you're allowed to deploy that money where you want to. So let me know what you guys think about this video. House hacks are super important. I'm a big advocate for house hacking. Hopefully you can get something from this video, and you can learn how to house hack. You can learn how to find house hacks and improve your finances for the better, especially in 2026. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.